1, 2, 3, 4. Palapalooza, Palapalooza. We're talking to you. I'm Palapalooza. Word.
And this episode has been brought to you by White Claw.
White Claw Hard Seltzer.
It's like drinking a LaCroix when somebody dipped their ball sack in it, dude. It's insane.
Can't find myself. Panic alone and pull it together. No, nothing made it easier to cope with the fact that you wish that I was somebody else.
You know what I was thinking would be funny, dude, is starting the episode off. Adam said that you guys like to freestyle hip-hop.
Oh, shit.
Little raps here and there. Can you guys warm us up with something like that?
I'll give you a beat.
What do you guys do?
Yeah, none of us.
To quote Adam, he says you guys sling off some hot rap hooks. Some originals, dude.
About that, dude. That's
We
a
have to
secret
shotgun
project.
a couple beers.
You have to be a little buzzed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work on that.
Maybe get some
Work on that throughout the
peanuts in.
episode, and we'll see if maybe we can get you guys comfy enough to do some freestyle hip hop up in here.
Yeah, maybe towards the end we'll
That'd be
we'll
pretty
get
rad.
something for
Yeah.
That'd be
I
rad.
see that happening.
We are here with Takers Levers, dude. Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much for having us, dude.
Got all 5 of you. Let me see if I got the names. David,
Correct.
Karam, Robbie, Lannis, and Maywell.
Nice. You did it.
And who's the newest member?
It's me.
Yes. May.
Maywell.
It's Maywell.
It's me.
You're guitar player number 3, correct?
I am.
You guys are just doing it live now, huh?
We're doing it live.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
You guys are killing it, man. Talk about what's new.
Thanks,
with,
man.
Takers Levers.
Well, we have been hanging out with Adam and talking to him pretty consistently because we're recording a few new songs. It initially started out as like, hey, let's track some new singles just because we got May and Rob in the fray. But we all are really big fans of conceptual music. So it started going from, hey, let's track 3 singles to maybe we can tie this together and maybe we can make this visual like a big cohesive thing. So I think we've been really working on that. We're working on a tour coming up at the end of September, and then
Where are you guys touring?
couple shows coming up too. We are touring. It's an interesting route. We're kind of cutting through the Midwest and then going as far as like Chicago and then coming right back.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, coming back down through Texas, where we've our previous tour went through Texas, and we made a lot of really good friends and connections there. So it's like, why wouldn't we go back and say what's up?
You guys seem to be getting out of the local scene a lot. You're on the road a lot, correct?
Fuck, we're trying.
Yeah. Because I mean, with the connection of we just recently signed on to an agency called the Dreamer Agency that kind of took the lead with management and booking for us right now.
Nice.
The goal is we've already kind of made our name in our local scene.
Totally.
So it's like we need to expand kind of Spiderweb out.
Absolutely. Is that Cash with the Dreamer Agency, or am I mixing that up? Who runs that?
Cash, he does, I think.
Out in Arizona, right?
Yeah,
With,
he's got a
In
few.
Lessons?
Mhm.
You know those guys?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, In Lessons is dope.
Yeah, we just had them on.
Cash is really like a really hard worker. Dude.
He's a hustler.
Yeah,
He's hustling. Yeah, he is.
Cameron,
And a good drummer.
He's a great drummer.
Yeah.
Cameron, who's kind of like the head of the spot, he speaks very highly of Cash.
Right on.
Yeah, so it's really cool to see them work together, and it's like, okay, cool. So our team is a hardworking team that has ideas, and they're not afraid to hear our input. And if we push back, they're like, okay, well, let's reassess and figure some shit out. So
Sure.
it's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
August 23rd, Malone's 9/11 at the 1720 warehouse.
Yes,
Are
sir.
those both correct? I
Yes, sir.
thought I saw those on social media.
Yes, sir.
Have you played those venues?
Yep. Malone's was kind of like our.
It's been the home venue for that was like the main spot for most local bands.
Like you had your Chain reaction, which is great.
Right, I saw you guys play there.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's a good spot.
Chain's cool. Chain's one of those like you pay your dues, you play it because it's just a legendary venue. Whether people want to say, "Oh fuck Chain, that place sucks," it's like, yeah, but there's a charm to it. You know, it's
Why
Chain
do you think people
reaction.
say that?
because they
Is it
they
like pay to play kind of thing sometimes? Or?
there are definitely pay to play moments there. We've actually, I mean, we worked hard enough to where our previous or second to last chain show, we got paid for it, which is really cool.
Fucking imagine that.
I know, dude. No, for real. Like, it was such a weird thing when, like, the promoter, they're really good friends of ours. We've worked with them for years. They came up and like, hey, so you guys really hustled. Here you go. And
You
we're like,
made some money.
oh shit. So it just like, that's what changed.
You're like, what is this cash thing?
what do I do with this? Where are the drugs, dude?
Good for you guys, though, man.
But
That's great to hear, though, man.
Yeah,
Right on.
It's really cool.
And that's how far away is that from you guys? Where are you guys exactly up in Orange County? I mean, that's such a large area.
Santa Ana.
Santa Ana. Okay.
Yeah.
Would probably be home base for us.
We all live in like separate parts, but we kind of meet in Santa Ana. Yeah.
Not far from Malone's, I would assume.
Dude, honestly, our previous little studio lockout was probably less than
600 feet down the road.
a fucking
we could have
5
rolled
minute
our
walk.
gear down the street too.
Yeah, so we play there quite a bit. So anytime like a band would be like, "Hey, we're playing at Malone's. Do you guys want to hop on?" Like, I mean, yeah, I guess,
Like,
sure,
yeah,
why
it's
not?
right there, sure.
If we're gonna practice here, why not practice in front of people?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you guys are relatively new. I mean, your first recording, Filthy Animals, 2016, right?
Yeah.
Do I have that correct?
Yeah, you do.
So about 3 years. Talk about how you feel your sound has progressed since then, or how you guys have changed or evolved in the past few years.
That's an interesting conversation because that EP was actually just me and Karam.
So just two of you were on that EP.
Yeah, well, technically, two of us walked into the studio and we were kind of like, so little backstories. We were working with a drummer and a bass player, and about a week before we went in to record, they just kind of were like, they got cold feet and we're like, we just aren't feeling it right now.
Wow.
We can't do this. Yeah, it was kind of, it was for lack of a better word, it was a shitty situation. Kind of, I hit him up and I was like, yo, if I paid you, would you just roll through? But long story short, it just wasn't lining up. So I
had you jam with them. Sorry to interrupt. Had you jam with them for a while?
Dude, we wrote the 4 songs with them together. Like we thought it was like, oh, this is gonna be it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
all right,
him and I like scrambled together and like hit up our friend Chalks, and we both took turns tracking the bass parts because at the time he was just playing the guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, we were doing like 12-hour days in the studio.
Wow. Okay.
Just to do that EP.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
It was 3 straight 12-hour days to finish all of the instruments. The drummer that came in, he basically learned the songs 2 nights before, I think.
Dang.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude. And like Chalks, if you're listening to this, you're like forever a part of the family. Thank you.
He stepped it up.
He really did. But it was that moment when we pulled up to the studio, the guy who was recording us saw us do that. And he's like, yo, I believe in you. I want to make this happen. So we made it happen. I went back a couple weeks later to finish up vocal parts. And then I think it was the first self-help fest. We had all our download cards. And it was me, our bass player at the time that we found off Craigslist, and our drummer at the time who we found off Craigslist too.
Nice.
We
good old Craigslist.
I know,
you guys
man.
still use that?
Personals all day. It's gone.
God, I don't use it as much, but I used to. I mean, we found our drummer on Craigslist, dude.
No, well, dude, that's the thing. Like, if you get to a point where you're looking for people on Craigslist, you are desperate. And we were like, no joke, no down talk too, but we were desperate, dude, because we like had been grinding so hard, and we're like, look, in order for this to work, we have to look in all these places,
right?
And so we went to that self-help fest, started handing out download cards, and from there it was like, okay, play your local shows, play your pay to plays, and yeah, that was it was weird. I loved it. But I don't like necessarily miss much of it because it was hard, dude.
Yeah, kind of hustling, huh?
Yeah, you felt very lonely at times.
Yeah. Well, right on. And then you followed up with another EP, I believe, recorded by Adam Cisco, right? Break and Bloom?
Front to back, dude, yeah.
Right on. The local boy, Adam Cisco. You want to talk about him? Shout him out a little bit?
Absolutely,
yeah,
dude.
buddy.
Fuck you for telling him we rap, dude, you piece of shit.
Father
now
Cisco.
we have to
Trying to get these guys warmed up a little bit here. We'll get them rapping. We'll see.
Who wants to go first with Adam? Because there's a lot to say about that guy.
Good guy, man. He's taken on a lot of great local projects. Again, shout out to some of the guys he's working with down here in San Diego. Infinite Signal.
We're dead, we're tired and broken. We're stuck and dead and we're choking. We're crying all of your lies.
Mainsail.
Infinite Signal are really good friends of ours too, so it's really
Are
cool.
they? Okay, very cool.
It's really
The
cool.
Rough is recording with them. So, yeah, he's the local boy for sure, dude.
It's cool because his old band, which he mentioned in his podcast,
Montel Jordan's.
yeah, we played with them. We did like a Taste of Chaos Battle of the Bands thing.
Awesome. They kill it.
Dude, like I was smitten by it. I was like, these guys are fucking
Their live
awesome.
show's insane.
It's so
It's
cool.
so much fun.
Lifted their guitars up and there's just titties on the back.
This won't last forever. Not immortalized by lies.
Lots of sexual innuendo
Yeah.
with the Montel Jordans.
But the
I
cool
love
thing
those
is,
guys.
a lot of people like that, like when you talk to them, right off the bat, and this is like the human spirit wanting to be very surface level, you think, man, they're going to be really intense people. I can only take them in doses. But when we started talking to every single one of them, I'm like, yo, it feels like we went to high school together. They were just down to earth, really funny, really cool, just chill. And then Adam actually walked up to us and was like, hey, I really like your stuff. I'm kind of the guy who records this band that I'm in right now. Would you give me a shot? And honestly, dude, for a little bit, we're like, we'll keep you in mind. We were kind of
We're pretty
browsing.
skeptical,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Shopping around a little bit.
Yeah. But Karam
Yeah.
said it, like, we were kind of skeptical. It was like, I don't know, man. What have you done? And then he kind of started showing us the work. But I think what shined more than his work was his passion for it.
Right.
And so, like, I grew up listening to a lot of bands like Circa and Thrice, and
Totally.
I like the fact that they worked with a producer named Brian McTurnan, and he was like a fifth member of the band or a sixth member of the band. And A Day to Remember has people like Andrew Wade. It's just like somebody that they're just good friends with that just gets it.
Right.
And so we kind of discovered that Adam was that guy. He just gets it.
Yeah. He also cut off a finger just to get you like your fucking kick sounding good, you know? Like he'll do anything to make it sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
He'll stress himself the fuck out, dude. Like we've seriously watched him, like, dude, it's not that serious.
Calm down,
it's like
bro.
snare tone, dude. Relax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speak of the devil, he just texted me. Right
Did he?
Now. Yeah.
Call him, bro. Let's talk to him.
Let's see. Let's throw him
Put it
on
on
there.
speakerphone, dude.
All right, hold on.
Hit him up. We're gonna call up Adam Cisco right now and say what's up. All right, we're gonna surprise him on Palapalooza.
What up?
Adam, you're on
dude.
Palapalooza, bro. Say what up.
Oh shit!
Troy's such a prick. No,
Oh,
You're already
dude.
in San Diego then.
Yeah. We just
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
if you want to come over and do like, dude, honestly, you were my last lifeline. I can't answer this question, and you're actually going to be our guest rapper today. So if you can just pull up, that would be great.
yeah, that'd be dope.
Pull up, dude. I'm out in South Park right now. It'd take me a little bit to get out there, but
Yeah.
what up?
We're gonna dive. We're gonna dive back into it, but I'll call you as soon as
Just
we're
wanted to
done.
say what up.
Right on.
Okay, love you, buddy. Bye.
Right on, Adam Cisco. Good guy.
Yeah.
Who knew the previous owner of this house? So he had been over here before he even came to Palapalooza.
Who was the previous owner?
Just some random guy that we were kind of mutual friends.
Oh, okay.
You know,
And then you just
yeah.
picked it up from him.
Yeah, he's like,
Cool.
dude, I have been in your backyard, bro. I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, kind of creepy. No. Well, dude, I can't say enough good things about you guys.
Thanks, man.
You have a really great name around, and I do have to commend Fist to Wall, 50,000 streams, dude.
Holy shit! Really?
That's no small
yeah,
feat.
I saw
it really
that
isn't.
the other day.
That's cool,
I think
man.
you're just under that, 49,438 or something like that.
Whoa.
But what do you attribute that to, man? I believe you've gotten on some playlists and stuff, right?
Yeah, we've gotten on playlists, but I think what like really gets into my head sometimes is like a lot of our peers are signed on these labels, and I say that loosely.
Sure. I like that. Indie labels. and
Indie
stuff,
labels,
right?
yeah. Which, dude, no joke, mad respect
Some
because
dude in his basement.
exactly. But yo, a team is a team, and like
Right.
that's what the grind's all about. But we didn't really have like that kind of support. It was just us and our solo manager at the time, Johan, who really like we can't speak highly
Right.
enough about because that dude has just put in so much work.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it was just a few playlists, and then
Cool.
at the rate of not sounding conceited, because if you write music because you like to hear it,
Right.
like Adam said, just write a good song.
Right. And
so
I was going to say that. It's a banger song. It's a good
Thanks,
song. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whoever is part of the process, I know we all really enjoyed writing it, and it was one of those things when it came together, we're like, oh, cool. This
Still
is
my
what-
favorite song, dude. I still love
Yeah,
that song.
mine too.
Insert that song now.
Circles in the dirt to try and soothe the ache of the empty that you made. Replace and watch it give into
Oh, thanks for listening to Fist to Wall.
Thanks for listening. That's it. Available now on Spotify, dude, and
Everywhere,
all digital
dude.
platforms. Buy that shit,
Everywhere.
right?
Yeah. Well, you know what, dude? More than buying that shit, show your friends and then come to a show and buy
There you
a
go.
goddamn t-shirt, please.
Buy a shirt. It's all about slinging the cotton, right?
Yeah, dude. Honestly,
And that's all we are, really, is cotton slingers. I don't know.
no, it's the truth, because
It
like,
is what it is.
You guys remember the whole like Napster pushback, and Metallica was like, "No, fuck that, buy our music." But like,
What do you think about that? You think he was right in that regard?
I understand where it came from, but I will side with Iron Maiden on this. What Maiden did was they researched where they were being downloaded most, and they put on big shows there, and they sold out every single one. So it's kind of like, do I swim against the riptide, or do I understand where it's going to go and utilize its flow?
Love that. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, that change is inevitable. You got to recalibrate, to fit it. Don't try to fight it and say it's wrong.
Go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go with the
Figure
current.
out a way. There's
Why
always a
swim
way.
against it.
Yeah, we're creatives. Figure out a creative way to, still make money,
Absolutely.
in a proper way.
Do you have plans to jump back in the studio here pretty soon?
Yeah, we're almost. We finished all the instruments. We're done with those 3. We're doing a series of 3 songs, and we'll keep it as like cryptic as possible. But I just like the vocals need to be finished up, and then
Right on, man.
little things post production and stuff. But
That's right. Adam did mention that. So music's done. You got to lay down the vocals and then
Yep.
mix masters. So probably at least a couple months, realistically, right?
I would say
Fall release?
couple months, fall release for. I mean, the thing is like the visuals that we're gonna go with it. We're stepping away from the hey, plug in your instruments and rock out. We're thinking of something a little bit more ambitious, which might take a little bit more time, but we don't want to just squeeze something together.
Okay.
So it might be closer to winter, but
Yeah.
I'm at this point. There's an abundance of music out there. I think it's more about quality than quantity.
Totally, dude. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. You always take your estimated release date and then add like 6 months, right?
Absolutely, dude. Fuck, man. As
So
antsy,
next summer, new music from Takers Leavers.
yeah, 2025, dude. Stay tuned.
2025. Yeah, I mean, from my personal opinion, you guys have plenty of great music out there. I mean,
Thanks, man.
what is the rush? Yeah, right on.
Yeah, like we want, dude. Trust me, we're getting fucking antsy. They're like these new
Yeah.
songs that we wrote. We wrote with 3 guitars in mind. So the heart of the music is like, oh, okay. At first, people do the same thing. They're like, 3 guitars? I don't know, man. And we're like, just wait till you hear it. Some of our favorite bands have done the 3 guitar thing, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's possible. We just
Yeah.
learn to speak with each other, and listen. I think that's the most important.
Will you do some panning, like left, right, center kind of thing, or do you have anything in mind?
I actually want to introduce Tiny Strings at this point.
Tiny Strings,
yeah,
baby.
this is the Tiny Strings Club right here. It's consisted of Maywell, Robbie, and I.
Okay.
And we are very. There's
Middle fingers are going in the air
There's
here.
tiers to this band. You have Tiny Strings, and then you have everybody else, basically.
Yeah.
No, it's Tiny Strings. It's
Tight Strings is a cult. Fuck you guys.
it is a cult.
Yeah, fuck them.
It's interesting to be able to work with these two, because guitar players are fucking assholes. Like every guitar player will admit it. Will not admit it, but somebody who knows that person will be like, yeah, that guy's a fucking prick when it comes to writing music.
Guitarists.
Yeah, but there's something unique about how when we write, it's very fluid. I don't know if you want to like shed some light on how that experience goes, but
When it comes to writing, as far as 3 guitars are concerned, I remember we had the conversation initially when I was being brought on. It was kind of like this whole thing where it was like, how is this gonna work?
Right.
Are we, there's this dynamic that's in place, and I kind of want to make sure that we're not, I guess, that no one's being pushed in any, you know, particular direction that they don't want to go in.
Right.
And I remember I specifically, you know, said, you know, I'm really only here to add a layer, you know, and I'm only here to help accentuate other people's parts. Right. So maybe that means we harmonize a little bit. That means maybe I act as a foundation for other parts to kind of breathe and kind of like do their own thing.
Sure.
And then in practice, like, I was just very happy to find out that we were very, very like open. Like, everybody was really open.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, I mean, like, it was like,
cool.
for me, like, probably the best possible scenario, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Add some
Super-
flavor. You're gonna add some flavor, right?
You know, just spice it up, dude.
Spice
Just
it
little
up.
sprinkles.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah. It's like baking a cake a little bit, huh? Writing
Yeah,
a song,
very
you know,
much,
you got
actually.
you got the
Speaking of
flour and
food.
you mix the ingredients and you
That's
sprinkle
actually-
on the sprinkles on top.
Yeah,
and, you know
That's
what I mean?
David's favorite metaphor for
Is
pretty
it?
much everything.
I've
So
always
you got
thought
the
of
frosting
that.
on top. And
Dude, I've always
Yo.
thought of that.
Yo.
And then the mixing, mastering is really kind of
It's putting it in the oven, dude. It's understanding. It's
Totally.
letting it cook itself.
Yeah.
And Adam said this great analogy once. He said it's peeling the blanket off of all the music. You had all this stuff incubating and fixing itself up, and then
There
you
you
just
go.
peel it off, and it's like boom, there's the project.
It's there.
But
Yeah.
the interesting thing about our tiny string dynamic, if you will, is how Robbie and I first started writing. Him and I are very melodically intricate. Like, I'll play something and he'll kind of riff around it, or vice versa.
Right.
And so initially, I think it was Maywell coming in and going, "Yo, I'm just gonna do ambience." But now it's very amoebic. There are times where May and I are riffing, Robbie's doing a rhythm, and then like we'll switch off and I'll pull back, and then they will do something.
That's awesome.
I know a lot of the really catchy leads and things. Robbie's very good at creating a hook. Like when we were tracking Break and Bloom, I was walking away from the studio just humming little leads, and I'm like, "Fuck, Robbie,
Right.
that's it.
Just
That's
super catchy, huh?
Yeah, it's the juice. I always say it's the juice. When something's stuck in your head, it's just you can't get it out.
Yeah.
And May has this innate ability to do exactly what he said, which is support these things.
Right.
But he's also it's interesting. We're all very big fans of a band that's no longer around called The Receiving End of Sirens.
Okay.
And they're notorious for 3 guitar players. And to be able to pull something off like that, dude, it's scary because a lot of people hear 3 guitars. I don't know, dude.
Right.
Why?
There were so many times when we were just writing these songs, because we just started writing them at the beginning of the year, where it was where we would ask ourselves the question, like we would kind of hit a little bit of a wall, and we'd all look at each other and go like, "Hey, like, is this cool enough?" And then we'd kind of go back and go, "Wait, is this right though? Is this like what the song needs right now?" And now that honestly has been like the coolest thing, is to just bounce that off of everybody and kind of feel that that was like still more important than being awesome.
Sure. Being a shredder, kind of. Yeah,
You
put
know?
the ego aside a little bit.
Yeah, I think what's cool about where we're heading as a band is you see a lot of bands where managers will tell them like, "Yo, you got to make sure you guys are dressing the same. You got to make sure your look, your image is cool." And I fully agree with that. But the cool, effortless thing about this band is we don't have to do that. We are already really good friends. We kind of dress similarly.
Just yourselves.
We're ourselves, exactly. But I think what we're always a big fan of collectively is that concept of music, the art. My favorite albums, I looked at the art and was like, "Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I want to buy this record."
Right,
And then
just
I buy
based
it and
off
be
the
like,
art.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we're at a point where we're starting to focus more on,
Conscious
hey,
of that.
yeah, like we'll have our projects where we as people can kind of shine a little bit, but this is more of like a collective, like, hey, we got 5 people to work with.
Yeah.
Like, let's try to figure this shit out. You know what I mean?
We should all talk at the same time too. I think that'd be cool. Okay, ready on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Talk
I
in your
think it's
microphone.
great how fantastic this you son of a
We were
bitch,
telling you
dude.
this, man.
let's
Here for
just-
the band.
yeah.
Takers, levers, takers, levers. Adam Cisco, takers, levers, Adam Cisco.
I love it. Just keywords.
We should have started the episode with that.
That's a good one.
Hey,
too.
guitars.
We can cut that in, dude. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck
You
it.
guys are drinking some beers. You got some Pacifico. You got some White Claw. Talk to me about White Claw. That's the new hipster thing, huh?
claw, dude?
Man, who wants to
Is that
take
what it's called? White Claw?
White
It's a
Claw.
seltzer alcohol,
The
correct?
claw is the law.
It's a claw's the law. The claw.
Yeah.
The claw.
We're chilling back here on Palapalooza. Not a bad vibe, huh?
No, actually,
Not a
I
bad
want to
vibe?
do this podcast strictly. Anytime anybody's like, "Oh, you want to do my podcast?" I'm
Dude,
like,
I would
yeah,
really
is it
love that, man.
Palapalooza? Yeah, fuck yeah.
Whenever you guys have a release, feel free to come back, dude. And I
Would
really
love
look
to.
forward to the 3-song EP released here soon with Adam Cisco. It's going to be
Hell
a
yeah.
fucking banger.
It will, dude. I'm excited for it.
Loving it. Again, August 23rd at Malone's, 911 1720 Warehouse. What city is that at?
Los Angeles
Up in
downtown.
LA. Cool. And shortly, David, you're going to perform acoustic here for us, huh?
Yeah, I'm
they're
gonna
making
a
you
few
do
songs.
all the work.
Well, I wanted them to do the work
Okay.
with me, but
No, it's
I
all
don't
good.
have an acoustic bass. So maybe we just have one acoustic guitar. What do I do with the
pointless.
acoustic drums?
Hey, you sounded just like him, bro. Acoustic. I've got a bongo over there.
Oh, do you?
I do have an egg shaker, bro. If you
Yeah?
want an egg shaker,
Egg
just
shaker?
in the
There you
background.
go. Shake the
Yeah,
ice.
Yeah,
Let's do
we
it.
can take it a few times. If it doesn't sound good, we won't do it.
We'll figure it out. But do you perform acoustic often, or is this a new thing for you?
I actually I write a lot of like the vocal hooks and like
Yeah.
spines of some of these songs off Break and Bloom on an acoustic.
Awesome.
Yeah, the only thing
Yeah.
I have in my house is an acoustic guitar. So
Right on.
I think I'm most comfortable when it comes to like writing and singing on an actually singing was very challenging for me at first to get my voice louder and
Yeah.
what's that word I'm looking for? Project. Yeah,
Or
like
diaphragm kind of thing. Like
yeah, because
open it up?
I was very into artists like Death Cab and Iron and Wine, and just kind of like
There you go.
singing a melody to make sure it sounds pretty.
Yeah.
you know, even if it's chaotic, there has got to be some sort of like organization behind it.
Right. Absolutely.
So, no, I like this will be cool. We kind of
Yeah,
we
cool.
fucked around a few hours before and just kind of arranged some stuff to make sure it sounded cool.
Yeah, right
So,
on, dude.
yeah,
I'm
it'll
sure
be
you guys
cool.
will kill it. I look forward to that shortly. We'll go acoustic with Takers Levers, man. I look forward to it. We're going to do rapid fire. You just listened to Adam's episode, so just going to shoot some random questions at you guys, all right? Seosin or Circa Survive?
Circa.
Good answer.
Good answer. Beatles or Stones?
Beatles.
guys-
Yeah,
Yeah,
Beatles.
Beatles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nirvana or Pearl Jam?
Nirvana.
Nirvana.
Nirvana. This is from Adam Cisco. Name your favorite anime or video game that they take inspiration from.
Full Metal Alchemist, dude. I'm sorry.
Full Metal?
Yeah, because
You guys are inspired by that?
Fist of Wall is about Full Metal.
It is, okay.
Dude, most of the things I write about, like, we can't all go through the craziest experiences all the time. But I read a lot of books and I'll watch a lot of movies and anime, and they inspire a lot. But specifically, Full Metal had a really interesting concept about, excuse me,
White Claw.
White Claws, dude.
Dude, alcohol and the carbonation,
Goddamn
right?
Claw,
like the seltzer shit.
Oh,
you
dude,
just-
Oh man.
Dude, you just
It's like drinking a LaCroix when somebody dipped their ball sack in it. Dude. It's insane.
And this episode has been brought to you by White Claw.
White Claw Hard Seltzer.
It's like drinking a LaCroix when somebody dipped their ball sack in it, dude. It's insane. Mango flavor.
Mango.
There's a concept in it, and it's basically summarized. It's two brothers who practice this thing called alchemy. And in this world, alchemy is a little bit exaggerated, but the one thing that's kind of taboo is human transmutation, which means like you can't create a human. Because what is a human soul? The human soul is the most crucial part. You can't really, you can get the magnesium and potassium and all the ingredients that build a human body physically, but when it comes to the spirit, what is that?
Right.
So what they did, their mother ended up passing away, and they missed her so much that they tried to do human transmutation, and they desperately wanted to bring her back. They missed her so much, so they got all the ingredients. It was a rainy night. They tried to bring her back, and in doing so, they basically opened up this portal that essentially took his brother's life, the main character's brother.
Okay.
And in order for him to get that back in some way, shape, or form, he had to give up his arm and his leg. It's a really gruesome scene. Like when you go through it, it's really gnarly. And the only thing he was able to do was basically bind his soul to a suit of armor.
Gotcha.
So doing something out of desperation like that, because you've lost your mother and you're about to lose your only other family alive, you will go to these extents, even if it means like, you're giving up so much of yourself. So the concept of equivalent exchange is heavy in there. You got to give to get.
Nice.
So the intro lyrics are, "I carved circles in the dirt," and that's literally them carving transmutation circles in the dirt.
Circles in the dirt
And the main character has he has somewhat of a temper, so he's always kind of angry. So that's where the chorus kind of comes from, like a fist to wall approach made it easier to cope with all the shitty days that I let get in the way. Yeah, and I think the one line that really sums up the idea is don't look for answers in all of the wrong places.
Okay.
So to like sometimes letting go is the right answer, and to try to peel something back when it's truly the foundation's lost and it's broken, you must move on from it. And so a lot of us, I think a lot of our mental health issues are rooted in trying to hang on to something that we used to have and not letting it effectively shed itself and move on and grow. Right. So there is a lot, dude. That whole fucking anime is really dark and really well written. So awesome, there's that. And May also mentioned BioShock. Yeah. There's a song called There's Always a Lighthouse, which is a direct quote from BioShock.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're all just a fucking group of nerds.
Love it, dude.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
man.
no worries, man.
One musician you'd like to collaborate with?
DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled. What does that guy do? I literally Googled that one time.
I
dude.
think he just gets paid to yell his name, dude.
DJ Khaled!
Did you see him on SNL, bro? DJ Khaled was on SNL, and he was basically just emceeing, introducing like other artists.
DJ Khaled!
He's like an MC, right?
He's a personality. It's fucking DJ Khaled.
I guess he does like set up these awesome collaborations and stuff like that.
He's a gateway, dude. Yeah, he's just
something. Yeah. Anyways,
I would like to fuck around with an artist called The Midnight.
Okay,
he's a synthwave artist who's like really
love The Midnight,
dude. There's synthwave is a big. It's like 80s, but with better production, making a big comeback. And I would love to write a song with him. I think it'd be really cool.
How about best frontman in history?
Ooh, fucking Freddie Mercury.
All right. Video for the nookie. Come on, the nookie.
I take back my Fred. I swap it over to his.
Dude, I know. Hey, Fred Durst or Freddie Mercury, bro? That's a tough one.
Freddie Mercury for sure.
Oh man, what happened to that guy? That's a long
Freddie
story,
Mercury?
maybe. Well, no, Fred Durst.
Dude.
What happened to Limp Bizkit?
I did. No, they're still play. They played like a few festivals
dude,
recently.
They played a show. I think it was in LA. I forgot who with, but the tickets were only like $3.
Holy shit!
But the show was
paying people to make it.
Popped the fuck off. Like everyone was there.
I remember once Blink did that. They did a $1 tour. Their tour was $1 for the ticket.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was wild how much. I'm pretty sure they sold out everything.
It should have been like $1.82.
Yeah, for
like,
those
just
Ticketmaster fees, dude.
Yeah, exactly. What's your guys' best show that comes to mind?
Like that we've played?
Yeah, for Takers Leavers, yeah.
Oh, that one time we practiced was really awesome.
That rehearsal.
Yeah, that rehearsal.
All right, moving on.
I don't know.
Does anything come to mind?
We've only had one show with all 5 of us, right?
You know, but even before then, I think the last time 1720 happened was actually really dope.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
1720 show?
Yeah, we actually played. It was with Night Verses as well. This will be like the 3rd time we will play with them. 2nd time at 1720, and honestly, it was really cool because I think it was one of your first shows with us.
It wasn't. No, my first show was in. My first show with you guys was December. Like, get on that thing, bro. Shove it
Just
down my
cut
throat.
the balls while you
Shove
do
that
it.
black
Fuck,
thing
dude.
down
Really
my throat,
getting
bro. Stay off
Can you
me.
give me a couple more shots before we go that way? Maybe some drugs or something.
I got some shit. I'll be right back.
No, my first show with you guys was
Slide bar.
it was Slide Bar. I
Oh, up in
think
Fullerton,
in
right?
December.
Yeah.
It was December, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But 1720 was one of the first. I think it was like
It was-
2nd or 3rd or some shit like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
It was a really good show because like our backtracks were hitting well.
Yeah, the sound was really good there.
Yeah,
Fortunately,
it's a great venue.
that's always the biggest struggle, especially with running backtracks and in-ear monitors and all that shit.
You guys are doing that as well, huh? The backtrack, some
Well,
ambient
yeah,
sounds and
they-
808s and shit like that.
They were doing it prior to me joining.
Okay.
but we kind of switched up the algorithm, so to speak, on how we're doing it now.
Sure.
And it's definitely, I think, hitting harder.
Awesome, man.
But having a good sound person there usually makes and breaks the show.
Yeah, the crew at 1720, I think, made the show pop off. Like when you sound good, you feel good, and then when you feel good, you can actually perform your music.
Right. It's just all good.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to 1720, right on.
Yeah, no, they're great.
What's a pet peeve when playing a show? I think we just kind of touched on one, but is there anything that kind of really ticks you off when you're playing live?
For me, just because like I'm so used to movement and moving around, and this isn't really anything I have any control over, but when a stage is kind of tiny, it's just difficult to kind of figure out our space. And it was prior to even May being in the band. Like, I think we have more space on stage now because we're like a little bit more organized with five people. Yeah. But I think dude, we played. Oh fuck, I can't remember the name of it's actually down in La Mesa. It was a long time ago. I played. It's this fucking square. It's a 4x4 square, and that's the stage. And I was kind of like, what am I supposed
just
to
butts
do?
to nuts, dude. Huh?
Straight up, dude. There was. What else am I gonna do? Other than that, and not a stage that isn't grounded. Because the amount of times I put my mouth up on my mic and I get shocked, it's like, yo, if we're gonna be playing shows, like I would like to have my upper lip intact. You know what I mean?
Shock therapies on the weekends, man.
Dude, come on, sign up for this shit.
Holy shit! Local band shout out. We mentioned Infinite Signal. We love those guys, Kelly and Eli. They want to host Palapalooza, so we might actually have them host.
That'd be cool.
And,
I love those two. They're some of the sweetest people, dude.
Yeah, we were just hanging out with them. But any other local band shout outs? Maybe up in Orange County?
Set Sights.
Yeah, our boys in Set Sights.
Set Sights. Insert them now.
They are probably my favorite local band right now, just because their spirit, the way they work, and them as people. Awesome. They're very kind-hearted people and very kindred spirits. Like you can tell their music is rooted in somewhere that's not like, hey, we're just trying to fucking write songs. They're like, they love the music that they write. Awesome. And when you watch them play in practice, it's like it's a different type of energy.
They've got it.
Yeah,
very cool. I'll check them out.
Set Sights is cool. Really big deep shout out to our boys in Differences. They've kind of always been there for us too.
Differences, okay. Insert them now.
Differences is cool. And then I would have to personally say the Arson Choir. I really like the Arson Choir. Dude.
Arson Choir, okay. From Orange County?
From Orange County. They are very reminiscent of, I'm a big fan of Every Time I Die.
Yeah,
and they're
I saw
just
that.
Very thrash metal, like calculated, like mathematical riffs. Really fucking cool people too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's a big plus, isn't it?
Yeah.
When they're cool.
Honestly, dude, in an industry where it's not a competition, it's a community. Yeah,
it really is.
There's no reason to be like, yo, fuck that band, we're better. It's like, no, you're not, dude. That pizza's not better than that pizza. You just like that pizza more than you like that pizza. Right. Somebody else likes that pizza more than that.
That's a good analogy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely got to give a shout out to our friends in Elk Grove.
Oh my God, but they're not necessarily local, but 100%, yeah.
It gets darker as it goes.
Are they from San Diego?
No, they're from Ventura.
Okay, because I have them coming on next month.
Yeah.
So
cool.
we'll tease that. Elk Grove,
Cool,
man.
yeah. Fuck those guys, man. They suck.
Love it.
I absolutely.
Fuck you.
There will always be a soft spot in my heart for them because our first professional and ongoing tour was with them. And we really bonded a lot as people.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be one of those things hopefully when we're all very successful and we're playing big shows and tours, we'll look back on it and be like, you guys remember Odessa, Texas at the Cactus House where it was just a dirt lot
No shit.
You know, like
Yeah.
those little
Kinda look
memories.
back. The good old days.
The good old days. Exactly.
When I got my walker and we're talking about
That sounds like Jeremy from Elk Grove. To be honest, dude, he's the old man of the band.
Yeah. It's gonna happen for you guys sooner than that.
I
You
hope
know what
so, man. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. Reveal something about yourself that most people wouldn't know, and you don't have to get too personal.
Karam.
We went straight to the personal road in my head for some fucking reason.
We had one guy disclose that he had 3 testicles on the podcast.
Did he?
He truly did. So
Did he
fucking
did
beat
he
that,
show
bro.
you?
Nah, I didn't.
Then
ask.
how do you
I
know
didn't
for
wanna-
sure?
Fucking, why would he admit to that, bro? Like,
Maybe he just wanted to fuck with you.
he fucked with me.
What
It
are
worked.
doctor's visits like?
It worked.
What are doctor's visits like for something like that?
He said
Cough
he-
3 times, bro.
Oh my god. He said he shot some big loads. You know, he did say that.
I can
and,
imagine this.
I
He's
fucking
basically a
believe-
Costco-sized nut, dude.
I believe him, bro. I mean, you guys
Wholesale, man.
Shout out to the Dangerfield. I love you
Oh
guys.
God.
But yeah, I don't know. Anything you guys want to throw up?
I recently passed my STD test, so everything was negative.
Awesome, dude.
Round of
Congrats.
applause for Rob, though,
dude. For a
everybody.
musician, bro, that's big news.
Not just a musician,
Yeah.
for Rob McDonald, dude.
Get around, homie, or what?
He's just a beautiful
Can we
man.
Edit and cut that all out. I'm trying
shit.
to get on the straight and narrow here.
Oh, are you?
I deleted my dating app, so
Did you? All right.
I can confirm that. I saw him delete it.
Hit me up after this, bro. If you want me to take that out, I can.
Would
No.
you, Maywell, come on, you got something. I know something.
I got nothing yet. Here, you go first. I'm
Robbie?
sure I'm thinking of something.
Oh, here we go.
I've lived my entire life as a perfect gentleman. So
That's his secret.
All right.
Confirmed.
All right. We'll get a couple more beers in you guys. We'll come back to this one. No.
Yeah, I want to come back to this one because I'm excited for it.
This was actually provided by Kelly of Infinite Signal or Eli. What's the worst job you've ever had?
All of them except music, dude. Like,
True. Not a bad answer. I used to sling pizzas. I delivered pizzas back in the day.
Was that bad though? Because
I did
I
that
love
too.
pizza though.
that wasn't that bad of a job. It was more so the boss that I had when I was a pizza delivery boy. He was an asshole.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than that, it was fucking awesome. I got free pizza.
Yeah, and you get tips. It wasn't too
Yeah,
bad.
it wasn't too bad.
Favorite music-related movie?
I like a movie called Once.
Once?
Once with
Okay.
Glenn Hansard. That's a
Okay.
cool movie.
Okay.
It's there's a story behind it, and it's not necessarily about his come up. It's a fictional story, but he's a fantastic songwriter.
Nice.
And the woman in it, I believe, is his wife, and they meet and they write music together, and it's beautiful, and then they like split off and do their thing, and it's just such a well put together movie.
Right on.
I really like that one.
Once.
And like you can tell they're actually playing it. It's not like the movie August Rush where the kids you
Right.
can tell he's not playing it.
Not actually, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Any others?
Pick of Destiny.
Yes, dude.
There you go.
There you go. That's a good one, dude.
Well, then you know you've got to run the block. You fucking suck, my fucking cock.
I love Jack Black and the D. So, well, Tenacious D.
It's a nice, the D. The D.
I'm glad you elaborated because tonight's
had
ride
to.
home would have been awesome.
Well, I'm driving, so
That's not gonna stop a thing, buddy.
it's cool with me. Don't threaten me with a good time.
What's a worst mishap at a show that you guys can think of?
Worst mishap?
Something that fucking went wrong.
The fucking rig wigging out.
What was
I don't.
that?
It's never happened with you guys, but prior, it's happened.
What's the rig?
The rig is our in-ear
Oh, got it.
system, backtracks.
Okay, got it.
All that stuff.
Yeah, if that gets thrown off, you guys are kind of fucked a little bit, huh?
or
you
kind
gotta
of like entirely
it
because that's our
depends.
metronome too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
everything.
click track and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our rock, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay.
But
It's a regular
that's about it.
Dwayne Johnson.
That took me a second.
I will. There was one time I want to throw this in. I love playing the guitar. That's my first instrument. But I fucking hate playing the guitar because of all the gear. And not like 1,000 times thank you to Maywell for helping me streamline my gear. But there are times prior where something would be going wrong. Thanks, dude. And like my I've never owned a new guitar. I've always had like a $200 guitar that I put money into, and it's like it's janky and it works, But I remember it was a slide bar show where Karam came through too, and like he saw me like my shit was fucking up, so he kind of hopped onto the middle mic and started screaming the parts and stuff like that. And I was just desperately trying to figure it out. Yeah. And at one point, I just like plugged directly in. I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Oh man,
because
bypassed all your pedals and your wireless or whatever you have.
And that's the thing. I have momentum and movements with those. I'm like, okay, here's where I kill this pedal. Right. And I step on this, and that just entirely
throws everything off.
Yeah, dude. So.
Yeah, you rolled with it, and you can't help but have technical mishaps at shows. It kind of thickens your skin as a performer. I feel, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think I've only ever had one heckler, and this is when we played at not Canyon Inn, but it was that old bar a long time ago with Chris.
Royal Lounge.
Royal Lounge, yeah. It was some like old guy. He kept saying some shit about like he kept calling me like Axl Rose or something like that. And I'm
because
like,
you look just like him.
I guess so. I'm like, I don't fucking like Axl Rose, dude. This song's for you, asshole. And it was like some super aggressive song.
That's right.
Sweet child of mine.
Yeah, exactly. I should have fucking done that.
Oh, you should have. Was he like some older dude?
Yeah, he was probably in his 50s. Probably hadn't had his dick sucked in over 30
yes!
years. So
I hope he's listening to this.
At the end of the day, I was like, meh.
Yeah,
whatever.
Every young kid playing rock and roll is Axl Rose, right?
That's
just naturally.
For sure, dude. I mean, look at me,
Oh man. All right, right on. Well, we are going to dream. All right, we've come to our dream segment. If you could tour with any current band, who would you guys choose?
That's a loaded question, dude.
It's really hard.
Well, circa, fuck, right?
Okay, so I would love to. However, and I've thought about this a lot. I would love to tour with with my musical inspirations. And I had to pull myself away from the word idol. The only reason I wouldn't want to is because, I'll be honest, dude, whenever I go see them, I just want to go see them.
Right.
And it's a shitty thing to say, but when I go see my favorite bands, I'm kind of in the mode of like, I'm going to go fucking see this band. And then when there's another big band that they're touring with, like Thrice and Circa did a tour, I was like, fuck yeah. But there are other bands on there that, like, if I hadn't known, to be honest, I wouldn't have given a shit. And I still showed up a little late because I was like, I can see them anytime. But Circa's like, it's a holy experience to me. So I'm like, I'm going to focus on that. Right. I would like to tour with slightly large, like, heavy hitters that are in their midlife right now.
I think one we can all agree with is probably like I the Mighty.
I would love to tour with those guys.
They're just getting bigger and bigger.
Don't need to pull myself together. I've got more right now than ever. Why must we always compare ourselves to?
I the Mighty, they're not only are they have a great sound, they're great musicians. When you watch them, you're like, oh shit. You hear their music and you're like, they're fantastic.
I'll have to check them out, man.
Yeah, I the Mighty's really good, dude. I would also really like to tour with
Dance Gavin Dance would be a fun one.
Dance Gavin Dance.
You wanted me to act out to make you feel more better. We'll take a snick of vodka and bottle underwater. You say you need a father, well baby I'm a baller.
Yeah, but again, they're one of those bands. They're one of those bands where it's like, dude, like, if
you just want to go to watch them,
you want to go watch them.
You don't want to be a part of the reality
of it. The point you were making was that some of the openers for these big nationals are kind of getting lost and overshadowed and lost anyhow. Like, why even bother?
Yeah.
Which I tend to agree with a little bit. I definitely do.
And I want to pull Robbie in on this because Robbie was in a band called Hideouts and they opened for Dance Gavin Dance. And I want you to elaborate on that show. Was it more successful there? Or I know you guys also opened for Demon Hunter, which is an entire complete 180 to your actual band sound, and you said that was a successful show.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience, and actually it's funny because you talk about hecklers. The only time Hideouts ever had a heckler was actually at that Dance Gavin Dance show.
Oh, really? What happened?
It was just, some guy talking.
Heckling?
Yeah.
Was that a smaller venue?
No, it was at the Glass House in Pomona.
Okay.
Probably one of the better venues up around
Dance Gavin Dance, dang.
But I mean, I will remember that when we played the show, for better or for worse, like the crowd turned out for all the bands for them, which I certainly appreciate. I know that they've been really they've kind of like created a culture, with Blue Swan and
they've blown up
and all their bands, and even like they've been doing like festivals now with tons of bands that get added to those shows, and it's cool to see that they're trying to be inclusive to a lot of bands that are like-minded to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just think of the time that Coheed opened for Slipknot, and those are fucking in their own rights very.
Oh, dude, they could both
huge
headline.
band. Yeah, exactly. And I remember reading up a lot of articles, and it's like Coheed got heckled and booed off stage so many times.
Gotcha.
To where
Wow.
when you have to look at these bands and go, that's at that point they're a cult following. Like Coheed's a
Right.
cult following. Circa Borderline is a cult following. Their fans are still very open-eared people, but it's still
Coheed and Slipknot?
Coheed and Slipknot.
Yeah,
it was a
that's
tour.
that's a strange, yeah.
Well, to be honest, dude, if
Slipknot's just very heavy,
heavy,
very
yeah.
hard.
And
yeah.
Coheed gets there, but Coheed's got some of the most, sonically beautiful sounding music, and it's
Right.
very like a favorite house. It's just pop punk, so it
Right.
definitely stuck out like a sore thumb. And I'm sure they tailored their set.
Right.
But at the end of the day, these big bands would be cool if we were big enough to where I wouldn't give a fuck about that shit. And not to
Right.
say that I would give a fuck about hecklers, but I guess I'm thinking of more like what's going to be more conducive to our career.
Right.
And I think it would be a band like I the Mighty where people will show up, but they want to show up to see these other bands they're on tour with. Like, this is cool. It's like a bigger local show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I the Mighty would be cool. Fucking The Plot and You would be really cool.
There you go. Yeah. Cool. If and when you guys perform on SNL, what 2 songs? Don't laugh now.
I'm
We're
just laughing
dreaming.
at how close it actually is.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. What 2 songs would you guys play?
So I would probably start. There would be 2.
Okay.
One of our newer songs would.
One of our
probably-
new songs, which we won't say the actual title, but
Okay.
they're tentative titles to these songs. You know how you always have like,
Sure.
this is what it might be.
Untitled
Yeah.
one.
Well,
yeah.
this is one of my personal favorites, brought to you by Maywell. It's called Snacks as a Category.
Okay.
Or just Snacks.
Hence
for
the
sure.
snacks.
Hence
I
for
was,
Snacks.
I was actually
yeah.
the other one, but
Which one?
well,
Kunta or Burpee?
yeah.
Guys have some fucking rad names coming
Yeah,
out here,
there's
dude.
Kunta Kinte and then Burpee Fingers. Burpee
These are
Fingers.
pending names,
These are
correct?
pending
Yeah,
names. They're
okay.
all the songs are actually
I
named at
think,
this
like
yeah,
point.
placeholders,
Yeah.
kind of.
Kunte's I think that's going to be the banger
Which
for sure.
one? Burpee?
Kunta?
Kunta. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kunta is one of those. So that's why I was going to say current song right now. I would say
Probably Fist to Wall.
Fist to Wall.
Fist and Wall, okay.
I think collectively,
I guess what I'm
like
getting
that.
at is if you could play one song for the world, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's your single right now?
And play We Are the World.
Yeah,
by the world.
Yes. A punk rock band actually did a version of that locally in San Diego, and they had a bunch of local punk rockers
Really?
come on and
That's
sing
cool.
it. Yeah, yeah. The Dangerfield did that.
That's
so.
actually pretty badass.
I'll share
man.
that with you. Yeah.
I would love to hear that.
We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving.
Yeah, but Fist to Wall, yeah, that's a banger, man. It's a great song.
It's funny because that was the first song we wrote for that EP, and I think it's the one song where we think it encapsulates
right.
everything.
Everything you got going on.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
heavy, it's mellow, it's got really cool riffage. That's the one where I like when somebody asks me, "Hey, what does your band sound like?" If
Right.
I know that they don't mind some screaming or some aggressive rock, I'll
Right.
play that. If
Yeah.
not, I'll just play them Empty Glow and call it a day.
There you go.
You know? Empty Glow is a nice song, but I think that's more of a cinematic song.
Sure.
It's like the music video that
Empty Glow's a good one too, man.
Yeah, I really liked it as a very lyrically. It's a very raw song for me.
Right.
And so when we were able to do the visual with our friend Amber, which Rob starred in, actually, it was cool before he was in the band.
Okay.
So it was this cool foreshadowing. That song did really well, but I personally think it only does well when you have that video accompanying it, because it kind of explains the movement of the song.
There you go.
Whereas I'll be honest, dude, that to me, that's when we play it live, it's the most boring song for me. I'm just kind of like,
I hear that. Yeah.
I'm playing at like 120 or 125. I'm like fucking strumming chords.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, this is cool. You know,
I think it's at 100 BPM.
100.
even worse, dude.
Even worse. 100 BPM. So do you have plans to release a video with this next EP, or do you not want to say that? Along with it?
We'll just say that yes, we do, but I won't elaborate on how or what it's going to look like. It's just going to be very, very fucking cool and ambitious, and we're going to take our sweet time with it. And it's all going to be brought to you by Amber Paredes. It's a
Amber
huge,
Paredes?
huge shout out if anybody needs visuals.
Yeah.
Photos, anything, fuck with her. It's wild.
Hell yeah. Good shout out. If you could bring a musician back from the dead, who would it be?
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. That's your boy, huh? Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody.
Fuck, dude. You got to see that.
Actually, no, I take that back. Fucking
there's a lot of them.
Mozart, dude.
There you go.
Can you imagine how hard he would shred on a guitar right now?
Roy Donk.
Roy Donk, dude.
Bob Bafano.
Bob Bavano. I would say, that's a hard question because, like, what area do you
Who would you like to see in today's like digital Spotify day and age that didn't make it this far?
That didn't make it or died?
That's the same thing.
Well, usually we say die, you know, like imagine John Lennon today, or even Kurt Cobain today, you know.
Tupac.
I'd say Tupac.
Fucking A, dude. Insert California Love now.
Bradley from fucking Sublime.
Okay. Yeah, he died way too young.
I like that.
Yeah, I could see that. Dude, Keith Moon. I want to see how hard he would be drumming right now.
Yeah, fucking
dude.
A, man.
That's a great point.
Wait, hold on.
Dude.
AS,
So many. Ready?
Bonham.
1, 2,
ASMR,
3,
okay.
and crack it.
What are
Brought to
we,
you by
fucking children of Bodom?
Pacifico, baby. What do you guys do for work? Random
Right,
question.
you can't really see it, but let me describe what
You guys
Rob's
are all
doing.
just playing with, you're all playing with your cocks right now.
You got to make money somehow, dude.
Yeah.
Okay?
Fucking hey, more power to you if you guys are doing that.
You get
Holy
paid
shit.
under the table, right?
Yeah, under the table.
Under the table.
Under the table. Hey.
I am a part-time specialist at the Apple Store.
Okay, cool. Wow, very cool.
It's
Hey, you're like, no, not very cool,
it's
asshole.
cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Pays the bills. Right on.
It's cool.
Cool. Moving on here. If you could wave a magic wand and make one band never exist, who would you pick?
None of them, because I need them all to exist so I know what not to sound like.
There you go. That's a good answer.
That is a good answer.
That's a good answer. Is there anyone?
Or Imagine Dragons.
There we go.
Just a young gun with the quick fuse. I was up.
We retired Imagine Dragons and Nickelback, bro.
Okay, hold on.
They both
Oh,
got hit.
pause.
Wait a second.
I would
Wait
keep
a
Nickelback.
second.
I'm not gonna lie.
We have
keep
2
Nickelback.
guitar players now, not 3.
Yeah.
Yo, okay. Karam and I are actually pretty passionate about this.
We're
Do you wanna take
advocates.
this, Sean?
We're advocates of bringing Nickelback back into popularity.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
You all have been brainwashed to think Nickelback is bad.
Why do you think that is, dude?
Here's the thing.
They have like a stigma
Have you
attached
heard-
to them, dude.
Have you heard
Yeah.
their tones?
Their guitar tones,
They
dude,
are
as a
just
guitar player,
ridiculous.
are fucking. Actually, here's a little trivia. The guitar tech for Nickelback was our guitar tech on the Break and Bloom EP. I played
No
all of his
shit.
guitars. He
Wow.
tuned all of our shit together.
Wow. We will take Nickelback out of retirement just for takers and leavers.
And I'll tell you why, dude. Like, if you were
We
to
got some
take,
hits. I don't know why people hate on them,
dude,
to be honest.
dude. Okay,
Fucking,
so
like, spring
if-
tour with Nickelback. Here it comes.
So here's the thing: you
I
gotta
mean,
go
I get
deep
it.
cut. You have to go
The first
deep
time
cut.
I heard that, you know, their first hit, these 5 words in my head, scream, are you having fun yet? You know, it was
Yeah, dude.
it
Honestly,
got a little played out, but good song.
So if you were to replace his vocals with somebody else that you like, whose vocals you like, I promise you, you would be
Right.
like, this is fucking catchy and really good. Like,
There you
listen
go.
to this shit.
There you go, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with your Nickelback hate, dude. Oh god, I'm about to throw my phone. That's how hyped I am.
I didn't fucking retire them. It was everyone on here that was just hating on them so much.
I get it,
I
because
did
it's
retire them
popular.
personally, but Yeah, I guess, and maybe they're like the rock standard, you know, and they've kind of lowered that or something.
They're like the modern day Pearl Jam. People like to make fun of how he sings.
Yeah,
and shit
I like
that.
Pearl Jam.
I love Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
I grew
Eddie
up with
Vedder's
Pearl
the man.
Jam.
Yeah, for
I like
sure.
that it's a euphemism for jizz.
Oh, and boom goes the dynamite.
I'm blowing everybody's mind right now.
No,
They're like, wait,
I think it was no. I think
what?
I think Eddie Vedder's grandma's name was Pearl, Grandma Pearl, and they'd go over there and she'd make them jelly.
Wait, that brings up a good question. What's the difference between jelly and jam?
That is a good question. Does it have to do with like I don't know? Do you have the answer?
About I think about like 30 seconds.
Preservatives.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
I think. Okay, hold on. Jelly has no like seeds, no nothing in it.
Okay.
Jam is like mushed up. Like it still has like some of the fruit consistency in there. That's what I would say if somebody would genuinely ask me that question.
Okay. All right. I'll believe that.
I like
Yeah.
30 seconds better.
That's the simple way of putting it. We'll keep it at 30 seconds.
All right. Last question before we have you guys jam a couple songs. Where would you like to be in 5 years, man? With Takers Levers.
Italy.
Yeah, you want to move out? You want to go out to Europe and play some shows out there?
Oh, like where would I want to be with them?
Yeah. Yeah, like
In a
you know.
sweaty dungeon.
Yeah. What are your goals?
Japan.
What are your goals
ideally.
for the band?
Japan.
Move out. Okay.
Well, not move there, but ideally tour there.
Right, right.
I definitely feel like with the anime thing going on,
yeah, man,
that our demographic would be really wide there.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think in 5 years I can see us having at least 2 like full lengths released, healthily touring and having like when it comes to this band, I think we're starting to get a little bit more visual on how it can move more than just like cool songs. So I see us kind of maybe even being part of like conventions and possibly getting some ideas that we have because we're all creative people beyond just like music. So I think we can really be working. I wouldn't say Comic Cons, but maybe Comic Cons. You know, anime conventions, things like that, to where we can kind of pursue and start swimming in different waters rather than just music.
Different demographics a bit.
Yeah.
That interest you as well.
Yeah.
And that inspire you as well. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Anything else? Goals for the band?
Robbie?
He's like,
He just wants a healthy
just want
supply.
to play the guitar, bro.
He wants a healthy supply of Robbie. Actually, you probably want to make Robbie waters consistent in all bars all
There
across
you
the
go.
world.
Yeah, I gotta get a pat on that.
Yeah, so Robbie's got this thing called Robbie Water. I'll let him elaborate.
Is that right? Robbie Water?
Tell us about
Yeah, Robbie Waters.
What's up?
It's Robbie Water. So you got it.
It's Robbie Water.
Equal
What the
parts.
fuck is going on here?
Yeah, we're gonna make
You'll see.
Robbie Koofy.
You put the Sailor Jerry.
Robbie's from Florida. So
Okay.
water is water.
Okay, water.
Water. But he does this thing every show. Literally, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Every show, ever since I've known Robbie, which is over 5 years, he's brought this little fucking like Nestle water bottle with what looks like dehydrated urine. But it's probably
It's been out in the sun for a couple of days.
It's the equivalent of liquid gold, dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's in it?
It's an amazing.
What's in it,
drink.
Robbie?
Sailor Jerry and A&W cream soda. You gotta get the A&W. You can't get the,
No
the
shit.
other
You
stuff.
You can't get knockoff brand
That's
shit.
the bomb
Yeah.
mix, huh?
It has to be Sailor Jerry's.
It's
Wow.
gotta be Sailor
It'll
Jerry.
get you drunk.
That's your
It'll get you drunk.
That's your pre-show drink, right there.
Pre-show, post-show. You know.
Pre-show.
Wakes up in the middle of the night. He's like,
That's Robbie's lifeblood.
Pre-podcast,
on tour.
post-podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking A, man. Robbie Water.
Robbie
Do
Water.
it.
So I think that is like a personal goal for me to help Robbie get. Like it's people walking up to the bar and just going, "Oh, I'll take a Robbie Water."
Robbie
please."
Water. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I make it a double? You can't make
That's
it a
the
double.
real dream right there.
Get that mainstream. Fuck takers, levers,
Yeah,
dude. Let's just get Robbie
we
Water
just
out there.
patent that shit. Speaking of alcohol, I would love to collaborate with a brewery.
There you go.
I think that would be cool as fuck.
Yeah, there's a ton down here in San Diego, obviously, and you can team up with them, and they could do like a Takers Levers IPA kind of thing. You know?
I used to work next to Green Flash.
There you go.
So I spent a lot of time in San Diego. I absolutely adore the city. I think it's
beautiful.
going to be one of those places where hopefully when I'm successful and I can own property, I would love to live here most of the time and travel elsewhere.
Awesome, man.
But I know Green Flash, and I know
Yeah.
isn't Mission Brewery
Yeah,
down here
Mission's
too?
down here, yeah.
Coronado, obviously.
Dude, Legacy, yeah, all sorts. The Stone down here, Ballast Point. Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that's the thing. Like, I love the culture down here.
I really think there are more breweries in San Diego than like any other city. Maybe like Portland has more, or somewhere up in Oregon or Washington.
Yeah, nobody cares about Portland.
Fuck about you, Portland.
Love you.
Takers, leavers. Nice to get to know you guys. Nice
Likewise,
chilling.
man.
Good talking. White Claw in the house. Robbie Water in the house.
Pacifico in the house.
Shout outs, baby. Let's play some music.
Yep.
You want to?
Yeah.
You down?
Yeah, can I pee first, though?
Fucking hey, you can pee, bro. Let's do it. All right, we've come to the live portion of Palapalooza with Takers Leavers. We got David here on acoustic guitar and vocals. He's going to rock out Empty Glow. You want to talk about this song, dude? What's this track about?
But I don't want to go too into it. It's just, this is just one of those songs where it's like, it's a little raw and connected. It's more meant to be, watch the video and kind of connect to it yourself. But,
Awesome.
it just touches on a lot of how we feel a little empty after sometimes some things have faded away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it, dude. Take it away.
I'm caught in the endless glow, the empty golden glow. I know, oh no. And out with every devil in the shape of your father's pride and face them. Why won't you face them? What if you find out the hard way that I was right and you always take it the hard way, unraveling, bathing in cold light. The pattern repeats, the color remains. You didn't deserve this. I'm caught in the endless glow, the empty golden glow. I know. It's just a curse that I cast on myself. I'm done, I am done, I am done. Living in the curse, I will lift it myself. I'm done, I am done, I'm done. Living in the curse, What if I never find out? What if I always take it harder than I should? But what if I can't lift it? What if it just sinks me down into the flood? Unravel me, bathe me in cold light. The pattern repeats, the color remains. You didn't deserve this at all. I'm caught in the endless glow, the empty golden glow. I know, oh no, I know, oh no.
Yeah, Takers Leavers with Empty Glow. Thank you, man. Sounds amazing.
Thanks, man.
You got some vocals on you, bro.
Thanks, man. I
Of
definitely took a lot of practice, choir, water.
A lot of water
Yeah.
throughout the years.
I want for the record to be known that I'm drinking essential water.
After about 10 White Claws.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, there's water in White Claw, dude.
Yeah, there is, right? Keeps you hydrated. Keeps you hydrated. What's going on? Yes, even my wife is relaxed.
Kind
Yes.
words.
It was beautiful,
Nice.
man.
Thanks,
Beautiful
man.
song. Absolutely. We'll do one more with you, all right?
Yeah.
Lost and Found.
Yeah, we'll do Lost and Found. This one we might have to do a couple takes as we just kind of piece this one together. So
Sure.
it's a little
whatever you need.
It's a little different, but
Yeah. Kind of transposing it a bit for acoustic.
Yeah, we messed around with the arrangement.
Right.
Lost, can't find myself, panic alone and pull it together now. Nothing made it easier to cope with the fact that you wish that I was somebody else. When your fragile hands make a bed of grief, you shape-shifted into a shell. And in my absence, how did you sleep? Pulled to the wayside, on the way I found out your hands were the cause. Don't bring me down while I'm burning away, 'cause you're lost and found. I'm trying to keep my head held high while I'm following myself down. And with an angry heart and fragile hands, you have made a bed of grief. And in my absence, how did you sleep on? Pulled to the wayside, on the way I found out your hands were the cause. Don't bring me down while I'm burning away, 'cause you're lost and found. Oh, lost and found. You know that's all that you are to me. Don't bring me down while I'm burning away, 'cause you're lost and in my absence, how did you sleep? In my absence, how did you sleep? In my absence, how did you sleep? In my absence, how did you sleep?
Lost and Found. Was that the end? I didn't want to interrupt. Right on, man. That was awesome.
Thanks, man.
An acoustic version.
Yeah.
A little transposing there.
Thrown together last minute, but yeah. I'm cool.
That sounded great.
Did I do good?
You mentioned, did I do good?
Hell yeah.
Am I good, guys?
Am I good, guys?
You mentioned choir. When was that?
Oh, fuck, man.
Was that high school kind of thing?
Junior year and senior year of high school, yeah. It started as like music appreciation, and then when we would like fuck around in music appreciation, my choir teacher's like, hey, I want you to try out to be lead tenor or baritone.
There you go.
And so baritone parts were really comfortable.
Right.
But my voice stuck out of the baritone, so he's like, just do lead tenor, and if I need you to flex.
Definitely
and so I had
more
no
of a
idea what
tenor,
any
I'd
of
say, right?
yeah, for sure. I had no idea what any of this shit meant.
Right.
Like when I started, I'm like, yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But it definitely helped me understand harmony and, you know, practices of like keeping your voice healthy. You know, mind you, I don't like really practice those practices often, but
Some good early training for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It just got me in the mindset of like singing and making sure I stay on pitch, and for the most part, you know.
Right.
So, yeah.
David, killing it, buddy.
Thanks, man. I
That was
appreciate
great.
it. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, real pleasure having you guys again. August 23rd at Malone's in Santa Ana with your boys Set Sights, right?
Yep.
And Low Love.
Low Love,
We didn't
yeah.
shout them
It's
out.
going to be their first show. I'm really excited
I
to
saw
see them
that.
play.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
really cool.
And then September 11th at 1720 Warehouse.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah. Do you guys want to rap? You warmed up enough or no?
I'm good. I
that
did
just
fucking
you?
work, dude. It's your turn to rap, dude.
No. Okay.
We'll get there soon.
All
Next
right.
time.
Next time,
We'll
man.
have some shit prepared for
Next
you.
time you heard it. You heard it here. Next time they're rapping. All right.
I love it.
Okay. All right. We got a rapper. We got a
we go.
rapper. Hang
Here
on.
we
Let me
go.
turn you on
I'll give
here.
him a beat. I'll give him
Of
a
course, you picked the one mic that isn't plugged in. Here you go. Let's do it. Fucking take it away. It's your episode.
Yo. Nevertheless, my dress for the occasion is number 32, not the other situation. It's a beat, moves your feet, then don't change the station. Pack your bags, leaving on a permanent vacation. Whoa, I'm a disaster, a microphone master. Chill on the beat and rock the ghetto blaster. That's all I got.
Fuck yeah.
Totally off the top of my head, totally not from something.
Damn, dude, you're so original.
You're
man.
so
That shit's
OG,
sick,
bro. Oh my god, you guys are rad. Takers, leavers,
Thanks,
Palapalooza.
man. Hell
Thank
yeah.
you guys so
Fuck
much. That was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, man.
That was cool as shit, dude.
Circles in the dirt to try and soothe the ache of the empty that you made. Replace and watch it give into a home that was broken, left alone. Whose bones are ripped away with the hands and rats of men.
One, two, three, four. Palapalooza, Palapalooza. We're talking to you. I'm Palapalooza.